Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This video is a part of the monthly portfolio update series made for the individuals invested with me on Etoro. During September, the portfolio was up 14.57%, and for the year, we're up 5.74%. We are invested in KWEB, Alibaba, Warner Bros. Discovery, Tencent, VF Corp, Occidental, GXO, and Cardlytics. We have to start this update off with the rise in China tech, which has been the reason for our return in September. In last month's update, I had mentioned that I thought September was going to be an inflection point for our portfolio as we get the rate cut from the Fed. The thing that I had not anticipated was the huge amount of stimulus and support that the Chinese government would launch right after the rate cut. We saw a massive rally across the board for all Chinese stocks. It was a huge bounce back in the span of just 2 weeks. I don't think that this is a sustainable rally in the short term, and it would not surprise me if we see a slight correction in October. However, if we zoom out at the long-term chart of KWEB, our largest position, it's still at 2014 levels, despite the country experiencing tremendous progress over the past 10 years. For anyone unfamiliar with KWEB, it's an ETF that covers the top 50 Chinese tech companies. Looking at our second largest position, Alibaba, it is evident that the recent gains are from a combination of the short squeeze due to the stimulus, aggressive buying due to the Stock Connect inclusion, and after effects of the buyback program that the management has been diligently pursuing over the past 2 years. Even if we have a short-term correction, I find it highly unlikely that we'll go back to all-time lows. Warren Buffett has this wonderful saying: the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And we have been extremely patient. I was aggressively buying Alibaba for our portfolio back in October 2022 at peak pessimism, doubling down to lower our cost basis. We have an average cost basis of $76 per share, and that is quite good. I think that sometime in mid-November, during the upcoming earnings call, the management is going to tell us about the growth in the cloud business, driven by their recent collaboration with NVIDIA. They will also tell us about the long-term agreement that they have signed with GoTo, where they've taken away GoTo as a client from Google. It is a meaningful hit to Google's cloud business and a clear benefit to Aliyun. At that point, I think that we're going to see the narrative change. And with that, we will see the multiple expansion, which will be the theme for 2025. Multiple expansion coupled with buybacks will be the driver for long-term gains for us as Alibaba shareholders. We bought Alibaba at roughly a $200 billion market cap. Could it get to 400 billion or 600 billion over the next 3 years? I think it can. That would be a 2 or 3x for us over 5 years. An average CAGR of somewhere around 20% over 5 years, which is pretty good. Currently, our exposure to China is 45% on a cost basis split between KWEB, Tencent, and Alibaba. On a value basis, it is just under 60% due to gains. I think that we're just getting started here, and this will be a multi-year run. Going back to the portfolio, there is a near-term catalyst for one of our companies, VF Corp. During the most recent earnings call, the CEO announced that there would be a two-part investor event with part one scheduled for 30th October. The management is expected to clarify their strategy to deleverage, which would reduce the market's concerns about solvency of the company. The most crucial component of this investor event will be the guidance about the performance of the core brands. There have been recent changes at top management, so I'm looking forward to hearing what Bracken Darrell and the team have for us investors. It is a very positive sign for me that they are communicating their plan going into Q4 right before the holiday season, which seasonally tends to be a strong period. I'll share details for what was covered in the Investor Day event in my next update. With respect to our portfolio, I took advantage of the dip in VFC in early October to slightly average up our position in the company in anticipation for the Investor Day. I think that management is going to positively surprise the market, and this could be a multi-bagger for us over 2 or 3 years. Going back, the last company that I'll briefly talk about is a new addition. We have GXO. Back in August 2021, XPO Logistics spun off GXO in an effort that the market could better value the different segments of the business. GXO is focused on contract logistics. I found GXO a few months back after reading the book How to Make a Few Billion Dollars by Brad Jacobs. Jacobs is the chairman of GXO and the founder of XPO. There's a lot to like about GXO. Plenty of tailwinds, great management that knows how to grow through M&A and effectively use debt. It is an essential business with many long-term contracts. It's not a space that will be negatively disrupted by AI. In fact, AI and robotics tremendously benefit this company, and the management at GXO are trying to make the business as efficient as possible using technology. Also, with everything that's going on in the world, all the uncertainty, it's beneficial to GXO as companies look to make their supply chains more resilient to disruption. There are some extremely large catalysts for GXO that could materialize over the next few years, but it does not seem like the market is interested in the long-term outlook for the company. But I think that is where the real opportunity lies here. Good management teams tend to deliver positive surprises to investors over the long term. With that, I hope that you have a better perspective on how I'm viewing some of the positions in our portfolio. I want to thank every person who has been invested with me through the turbulence over the past 2 years. We are finally at break even, and I think that November will be exceptional for us. Historically, it has been the month with the best performance, and it seems like this year will be more of the same. Please let me know if you have questions about any of the individual positions in the comments. And if you'd like to connect with me directly, I've included links to my Twitter and my Instagram accounts in the description. Thanks for watching this update. Take care.